Yo, what is going on, everybody? Caveman Jack back for another album reaction slash review. And we are back live from the studio. Yo, hopefully, you guys are having an awesome week. This is one of my favorite artists of all time. Bon Iver has released a new EP, Sable. When I found out he was releasing this, I just so over the moon. I was actually talking to one of my mates probably a couple days prior to the announcement, and I was like, "Man, Bon Iver, it's been a while. He's probably due for something soon." And yeah, lo and behold, the announcement was made. I don't know if I said this story on the channel. I'm going to say it now because it's it's interesting. I think it's a funny one. When I first discovered Bon Iver, it was late at night. I was lying in bed, and I just couldn't sleep. I had school the next day, and I don't know, maybe I was anxious about something the next day or something. I just could not sleep. And I looked up on just Google on my phone, music to fall asleep to, and Bon Iver's name popped up, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll chuck this on. Let's just say I did not go to sleep. I did not fall asleep, and if anything, it was just like this incredible journey through an album. As I was lying there, I just was like, wow, this is just amazing. It was his self-titled, the first Bon Iver record I ever heard, and also the first song I ever heard, which is probably it is my favorite Bon Iver song. It's one of my favorite songs of all time, Perth, which is the first song on self-titled. That song means so much to me, and yeah, I've listened to it for a very long time now. But it was great with this channel. I decided to dive into more of his bodies of work, starting with Forever Ago, which was amazing to kind of hear his kind of LP debut. And then listening to 22 a Million, which has become one of my favorite albums of all time. I think each time I've heard it, it's progressively gotten better and better. And I think that album is so special. Bit of a rundown. So, if you made it this far and actually here to see the reaction, we'll probably get into it now. But really keen to check out Sable. It's only 4 songs, which I was a bit disappointed by. I was hoping we were going to get a full length LP, but new music is better than no music, right? So 4 tracks here, 12 minutes. Let's get into it. This is Sable by Bon Iver. First song goes for 12 seconds, so pretty much three tracks. It's gonna be so good to hear his voice again.
I would like the feeling, I would like the feeling, I would like the feeling gone. 'Cause I don't like the way it's, I don't like the way it's, I don't like the way it's looking. I get caught looking in the mirror on the regular. What I see there resembles some competitor. I see things behind things behind things, and there are rings within rings within rings. I can't go through the motions, I can't go through the motions. How am I supposed to do this now? I am afraid of changing. And when it comes a time to check and rearrange shit, there are things behind things behind things, and there are rings within rings within rings. I got caught compiling. I got caught compiling. I got caught compiling my own news. I never lose. And who's the benefactor? And how to move without touching every interactor. When there are things behind things behind things. And there are rings within rings within rings.
That was special. Man, like I said, I was so keen to hear his voice again. I enjoyed that it was quite minimalistic in the kind of progression. On 22 a Million, there was very much like a quite electronic, quite expansive soundscape, which I really enjoyed, don't get me wrong. But I also really love the kind of songwriter pieces that feel a bit more folky and kind of hone back to kind of the earlier work. And that felt like more of his earlier stuff. Some of the lines really stood out to me. The one about being afraid of change and having to rearrange stuff is a scary thought. I personally struggle with change at times as well. I, I get excited by it, but I also find it equally as daunting. And I've often found that when I've dived into change and dived into new things and taken risks um, with a sense of purpose, that I've been challenged, but have been so much better from it. But it is a really scary thing. It's a scary thing because it can feel like you're ebbing, you're stuffing with the flow, you're stuffing with the state of routine or peace that you may be in. I don't know. Everyone's different. Everyone's different when it comes to this stuff. I know for me, change is scary, but I really take a lot of great value in change and experiencing new things, and diving out of your comfort zone has really benefited me. Even when, I mean, for me, this channel was a huge step out of my comfort zone. And I'm so proud of the channel. I'm so proud of the community we have. Change and the way that Bon Iver addresses this on this song really connected with me. Okay, man. It's a folky sound. It's cool. Back to the roots.
I know now that I can't make good how I wish I could. Go back and put me where you stood. Nothing's really something now, the whole thing should. Nothing's really happened like I thought it would. Can't rest on no dynasty. Yeah, what is wrong with me? Man, I'm so sorry. I got the best of me. I really damn been on such a violent spree. What's left of me as you live and breathe. I really know now what had hold on me.
Yo, so that song Space Side, I'll be honest, really just fell into the soundscape there. Lyrically, I listened to it a couple more times again, but this EP so far is very much honing in on some of those original Bon Iver sounds that he really made a name from. That's beautiful. It's beautiful to hear those folky sounds once again. The layers don't have too many kind of electronic textures to them. Feels quite balanced, and that super folky sound that we really appreciated and loved in his discography and his journey. So really, really cool to hear those sounds again. And like I said, I just closed my eyes and I really fell into that. It was very immersive, very warm, and very calming. A really beautiful two-track EP so far. The final song on this EP, I wish there was more music. I won't lie.
I can handle way more than I can handle. So I keep reaching for the handle to flood my heart. But then you came to me from Olympic heavy duty. We both needed so much soothing. Played you Ricky Lee. Oh, how everything can change in such a small time frame. You can be remade, you can live again. What was pain now is gain. A new path gets laid, and you know what is great, and nothing stays the same.
Wow.
Felt you through me, and every clue you threw me, pointing at me, asking who me. What a start. And you had taken all away my aching. Well, how could I ever thank you? I'd been received. Oh, just take my hand and place it on your blame, and let it wash away. With you I will remain. You came over short after it was over. You as precious as a clover in a meadow sun. Why do things gotta change? We were on our way to be best to face all that comes in gray. It's so hard to explain, and the facts are strange. But you know what will stay, everything we've made.
Award season. 5 minutes, so a little bit longer than the other tracks. Very, very minimalistic in sound. Very intimate vocal performance by Justin there. Very much was just like you, the listener, and Justin. It really felt like you were connecting with him. And it was a very vulnerable track. Once again, talking about change and how nothing stays the same. The line, that's a beautiful line. I need to get that line. And you know what is great? Nothing stays the same. Change is inevitable. It occurs in our day to day. We quite often don't have control about things evolving and happening in our life, that ebb and flow and the roller coaster of life. And the perspective Justin has on it here is it is a great thing that nothing stays the same. Um, Another way I look at it is quite often things can change, and it can be quite sad sometimes when things can change. But in hindsight and in reflection, they can be really great things to look back on. So that's, he also goes on in the song to talk about how what is great is that what they've made will always remain. So like, you know, and you can take that from a bunch of different contexts, and you could just look at it through a music point of view. So like the music that's made will always stay the same. You could look at it from a relationship point of view. So maybe things don't go the way of a relationship, and you can look back and you go, hey, well, we had some special moments. We had a really special time. And when a relationship doesn't work out, I think that's a really ideal, it's a great, doesn't always work out that way, but if you can have that perspective on it, I feel like it's a much more freeing and a beautiful thing to reflect on. Moments where things change, to be able to look back and go, that was a special time, and reflect in a manner that, instead of like longing for that to return, to be accepting and thankful that that time was shared. Yeah, just a really reflective, vulnerable EP by Bon Iver. Talked about it a little bit, but again, very folky, back to that original sound that he was very, accustomed to when he came into the scene. And I think for the type of subject matter, it worked really, really well, because that level of minimalistic sound, the guitars and the layers there, quite folky sound, really complemented the messaging and the vulnerability that he was showing in what he was talking about. So I love Bon Iver's music, and there's multiple times throughout that listen that got quite emotional just hearing that. It's quite nostalgic, but also what he was saying was, I think everyone can kind of take that away. That change is scary, but that half glass full approach to change can be really, really beneficial. And I think that really took that away from this listen. If you guys want to check out some of my other Bon Iver reactions, I've got a couple on the channel. Like I said, Forever Ago, and 22 a Million. Really two fun reactions on the channel. That was Sable by the legendary Bon Iver. Take care, guys. My name is Caveman Jack, and I will see y'all in the next video. Cheers.
There are things behind things behind things, and there are rings within rings within rings.